What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And I did a video yesterday talking about the bill that passed in Nevada and comes into law in October, specifically dealing about exhausts, modified exhausts. And everybody in the comments kept saying, I thought they just passed laws about this. They're not allowed to regulate emissions. They're not allowed to regulate emissions. You didn't. You didn't actually hear what I was saying clearly. But let me just try to make it a little bit more clear for you. It has nothing to do about emissions. Even though they mention emissions in the story, emissions is a byproduct of it. What are they saying? Why they're outlawing it? Yes, they originally were writing the bill and putting it in there for people that were removing their catalytic converters and stuff, but they're not doing it. They're not citing people with a misdemeanor crime and giving people $1,000 fines because it altered the emissions system. They're giving people a $1,000 fine and a misdemeanor charge because the exhaust is now loud. What's crazy is the law is extremely so vague. It doesn't set a decibel rating, right? So what happens to, and I've had people ask, well, does it cover motorcycles? It covers every single motor vehicle. That means if they see your diesel truck and they see smoke coming out of the tailpipes, no matter what color it is, whether it's white, black, whatever, they don't care. They can fine you $1,000 and hit you with a misdemeanor. Has to do nothing with emissions. They're going to say that your exhaust is modified. And now, here's the thing. You only get the $1,000 fine and the charge after the DMV confirms that it's been modified. Now, I don't know who they have at the Department of Motor Vehicles that's going to be able to go over this stuff and verify what came like what from the factory. What does that mean for the used car market in Nevada? I got to talk to my guy, Lucky Lopez, about that because this bill could screw dealers. Do you know, SEMA is such a massive event for Clark County, right? $250 plus million comes in because of SEMA, okay? Is SEMA going to be okay with this? Hell no. And what are some of SEMA's biggest vendors, the people that come in and want to show what they have? Exhaust companies, Borla, etc., 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 okay? Anything in the aftermarket for your car, if it has anything to do with the exhaust pipe, could now become a crime, absolutely illegal. And after I did the video yesterday, I was like, I had to reach out to a couple friends of mine that work for the Las Vegas Metro Police Department. And I said, what do you guys think about this? They said, yeah, they're going to be giving, before the law comes into effect in October, they're going to be giving classes about it, but they're not, I guess the people that are enforcing it are the same people that drive around looking for, expired movement permits, expired paper tags, false paper tags. There is a division in the Department of Motor Vehicles where the DMV has their own police department, so to speak. Yeah, I was shocked to find this out as well. I didn't know this, okay? So basically they go out and they patrol up and down the highways and around the roads and stuff in these unmarked Dodge Chargers. And it says, they do say, I believe they say Las Vegas Metro or something on the car in small letters. They're not clearly marked or identified. They do have the Las Vegas Metro license plates, right? But they, I guess, are tied to the DMV, or maybe they're state trooper cars. I know they have both, right? And I think I saw something about this when it came to a Carvana thing a couple years ago, and I didn't understand why the DMV had a police officer assigned to them. Anyways, so basically what it comes down to, it has nothing to do with emissions, guys. It has nothing to do if your car passes smog. And I know, I can tell you from personal experience, my Cadillac never would pass smog. The Laramie Longhorn, never going to pass smog. There's no emissions equipment on those vehicles. And they're registered at a property that I have in that is not in this county. I'm just going to say that. Okay, they're registered in a county where smog is not required. Okay, now what does that mean? Well, if I still fire up my Ram, if I fire up my Laramie Longhorn, the white lifted truck, and one of these DMV police officers sees me come by and they think that my Ram Longhorn is too loud, they're going to get under it and see that it doesn't have any exhaust. So they'll hear it. They'll, what they call, send me to the DMV for an inspection within 30 days, which could come anytime from the next day up to 30 days. And then if they find that there's no cats and the exhaust has been modified, even if it is like, this is the other thing we'll get into, even if it's only, because I saw this in the comments too, well, if it's a catback exhaust, it's going to be fine. You know, Borla uses steel, or Corsa uses, a steel, it's steel, it should be fine. No, it doesn't matter if the exhaust makes it quieter, right? I believe that. So this is how asinine this new law is. It doesn't matter if it's quieter than the stock exhaust. If they inspect it, if they get under it, and it is modified, the law is very specific. If it is modified in any shape or form, whether it's catback or not, the law does not say, oh yeah, whatever you want to do from the catalytic converters back. Nope. If it is modified at all, $1,000 fine, misdemeanor charge. Why is this on the books? Why is this law on the books? Now, here's where it's going to get interesting. I wonder if this law is going to be selectively enforced. I can already see the comments. So, I live in a very nice area of Las Vegas, and I enjoy my neighborhood. I'm willing to probably bet money I'm not going to see any of those DMV cops up here in my neighborhood. Some of the people that live around here drive McLarens and Lambos and GT3 RS Porsches and things of that nature. Do I think I'm going to see the DMV police here? Nope. I already know someone's going to get in the comments and be like, TK's not calling racism. I'm not calling racism. What I find interesting is, why do I have a feeling that most of these tickets are going to be issued on the Strip and on the east side of town? Why do I have a feeling that the North Las Vegas Police Department is probably going to be issuing a lot of these misdemeanor charges and $1,000 violations? I don't think we're going to see a lot of them in Summerlin, Southern Highlands, which, if you guys aren't from Vegas, you're probably wondering, what the hell is all this? I wouldn't even expect to see them in going up farther north into Centennial Hills. I had a friend talk to me about it today, because after I did the video, he goes, dude, he said, do you know how many cars we see with no license plates running around Summerlin? None. I was like, yeah, all right, I get it. He goes, so guess how many DMV cops are running around here? And I was like, I don't know, couple? He goes, none. They're not here. They're on the other side of town. And I was like, damn, that's, possibly racist. Just saying, just putting it out there. So as much as this law does affect the car enthusiast, I have a sneaky suspicion. I have a very sneaky suspicion. And here's the thing. If they do target more minorities than not minorities with this law, guess how long it's going to be on the books? Anybody want to guess? Anybody want to guess? I can tell you, not long. Want to know why? Because I'm going to be one of those people that, I know, I get pigeonholed with this all the time. Oh, you're a shit starter. Oh, when it's something like this that can affect my car, my trucks, the other stuff, where I could just randomly catch a misdemeanor if I'm out there on Eastern, or if I'm out there on Maryland Parkway and you can pull me over and give me a ticket, absolutely not. Absolutely friggin' not. No. So for me, hey, if you want to enforce that law in a bad way, Thank you, because you're going to make my case to get it repealed and removed that much easier. That said, when I was talking to a couple of my cop friends, they were literally like, TK, that's kind of scummy. I was like, tell me I'm wrong. Because I told them what my buddy said from Summerlin, who's up all the way up the hill here in Summerlin, right? And he goes, nah, he's not wrong. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I don't have to worry about the DMV cops being around my house, but it just means like, that's also like, okay, cool. So I can't ever like really leave my neighborhood or leave the area that I live in, outside of going to like Southern Highlands and coming back. I can't ever go to the other side of town in my truck because I might get a ticket. I might get a misdemeanor charge and $1,000 ticket. Hell no. Not worth it. And that's why this law is just ridiculous. But I wanted to clarify a couple things because people were like, oh, it doesn't affect catback. Bullshit. Law is very specific. Any modification, if you put tips on it and they want to say it was modified, tips, that has nothing to do with the exhaust system. Just tips, just the tip. So make that the intro. Just the tips. You're still getting sent to the DMV, and it's up to them if they're going to hit you with the misdemeanor charge and $1,000 fine. This law is asinine. The fact that Joe Lombardo signed this, Look, I'll say this. He's got to get it together. Either, and I understand what the demographics are and how the state legislature is here and how many people have moved here from California and why this state is slowly getting fucked. But the governor had the ability to veto that shit. He had to know, because here's the thing. Are you gonna state inspect all those Harley Davidson Metro bikes? Because them shits is loud. Are those Metro police bikes gonna get inspected, or they get a waiver? Come on, man. I have a feeling that, and it's not gonna matter until they start enforcing it and cracking down on people. But if they start cracking down on motorcycles, trucks, hey, I saw a puff of smoke coming out your diesel exhaust. Is it modified? They found out it's deleted. Boom, $1,000 fine. Now, here's the thing. Even if they find out your diesel truck is deleted, they're not fining you because it's deleted. They're saying that because it's deleted, see, they did this to get around whatever the feds were going to do. This is why this law is so friggin' petty. It doesn't matter what the emissions law is because this has nothing to do with emissions. They're saying it has to do with sound. Then why do you have in the law, why is it written in there about how to know if it's modified, if you can smell fuel or if you can see a puff of smoke or something come out of the exhaust? I wonder why it would be written that way. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I wanted to do a video clarifying some of the stuff that we talked about yesterday so that there was no like misunderstanding. Now you guys know, like, it's just, the law sucks completely. And it literally makes California's law look not bad. Last I checked, they can't send you to jail for modifying your shit in California, but evidently here in Nevada, you could be arrested. Are they going to arrest you for a misdemeanor? Probably not. Could they? They 100% could. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.
For the longest time. Whoa. For the longest time.
Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet, Miley Percocet, Represent, got it.